Hi, today I'm going to go through the history and evolution of Marshall tube combos. Let's go. The Bluesbreakers were built between 1964 and 1972. There was a 2x12 version and a 4x10 version, model 1962 and model 1961. These were the combo versions of first the JTM 45 and then later on in the era the JMP. These combos started out with the 5881 power tubes, like the 5920 basement that it is a copy of. And then it pretty quickly it went on to KT66 and finally in the era it came with EL34 power tubes. During the era it went through a bunch of the classic grill cloths as well. It started with the white, then pinstripe, then the basket weave, and then finally in the very end Segeborn. The earliest of these used Alnico speakers. Then they went on to G12M greenbacks, and then finally G12H greenbacks. Then between 1966 and 1968, Marshall built the 18-watt combo series, sometimes referred to as baby Bluesbreakers. Looks like those, but smaller. These came in a couple of versions. The 1958 was a 2x10 combo. The 1974 was a 1x12 combo. And there may have been a 1973, which was a 2x12 combo as well. These are actually EL84, like box-based amps, rather than the standard EL34 Marshall. And they have a unique tone. Let's check them out. Then between 1972 and 1973, Marshall built another combo that is often mistaken for a baby Bluesbreaker, namely the popular model 1930. This one had ECL 86 power tubes instead, 10 watt, 210, either Goodman's, we're going to check out both here, or Celestian 7442. They both came with basket weave and checkerboard grill cloth. Going to check out both here as well. I've only seen 2x10 versions of this combo, but according to Doyle's History of Marshall, it came as a 112 as well. Let's check it out. Then there were a couple of combos in the lead and bass 20-watt series as well, which were built between 66 and 73, basically. And from 73 to 76, they built the 2100 lead and bass combo as well. Unfortunately, I don't have any audio of those, but I will come back with that soon, I hope. The Artiste, which was built between 1971 and 1978, was a version of the JMP 50-watter. It was more like aimed at Fender tones, or more cleaner tones. I really like this amp, but generally it's held in quite low regard in the Marshall community. Well, all the combos in this video are tube combos, except for this one. This is a 1976 Master Lead. It's not the first solid-state Marshall amp. I know they did that even in the 60s. I've seen 18 watters that are solid-state. But I included this one anyway. I think it sounds great. In 1975, Marshall introduced the Master Volume amps, the 2203 and 2204. These also had combo versions, 2103 and 2104. They had G1265 speakers. These were built until JSM 800 was introduced in 1981. Unfortunately, this is the only footage I have of me playing one of these. It's a 2104, recorded with the iPad. Let's check it out. In 78, Marshall also introduced a smaller combo called 2150, called the Rock and Roll Baby, I think, by the advertisers. This was 100 watt into a power cell speaker. Unfortunately, I don't have any audio of the combo. They also, in 1978, when this was introduced, they also introduced the Country Gentleman combos, which were 100 watters, a bunch of different speaker configurations. They built that between 78 and 82. And unfortunately, no audio there either. Then between 1981 and 1990, Marshall built the JSM 800 series. There were a bunch of combos here. The version of 2204 called 4010 here. And the equivalent of the old 2104 became the 4104 here, the 212 combo Master Volume. They also built a second type of circuit, because the Master Volumes, the 2204 and 2203 went on from JMP into JSM 800, basically with only cosmetics in the beginning. But they also built a split channel amp, the 2205, and the combo version here is the 4210, the 112. There were 212 versions as well. The split channels also utilized diodes in the preamp to add distortion. They started out with G1265 speakers, and then went on to, in a couple of years, went on to G12M70, and then in the end, they used G12T75 for a long time. So now we're going to check out a 4010 and then a 4210. Let's go. Then the 4203 Artist was built between 1986 and 1991. This was the 112 combo version of the 3203 mini stack. So Artist here, not to be confused with Artist in the 70s, two different amps. This amp is EL34 based, 30 watt, and it has a hybrid preamp, so it's both tube and solid state in the preamp. Let's check it out. Then between 1987 and 1989, Marshall built the silver Jubilee series. There were also a bunch of combo configurations there, 112 and 212. We're going to check out 112 here. They utilized both the Marshall Vintage, the Marshall version of Vintage 30 Celestians, and they also used the G12T 75. Let's check it out. Between 1986 and 1992, Marshall also built the Studio 15 or 4001. And this is actually the only amp Marshall have built that utilizes 6V6 tubes. That's a classic Fender, Deluxe and so on uses 6V6 tubes. Unfortunately, I have no audio of it, but as soon as I can. Then between 1990 and 1999, Marshall built the JCM 900 series. These came in 3 basic amp versions: the high gain dual reverb, the high gain master volume Mark III, and the SLX. We're going to check out the 100 watt 112 combo here and a 50 watt 112 combo. In the 50 watt they used G12T 75, and in the 100 watt they used G12H 100. Both these are the dual reverb version, which is the most common one. Let's check it out. Between 92 and 93, Marshall built the 30th anniversary series, and there you had a 112 combo, the 6101. These had Celestian Gold speakers, and it's not the one today, it's another Celestian Gold. And I think that was in Europe, maybe, and in US you had the G12B 150 or the EVM 12L, I think. Let's check it out. Between 1994 and 1998, Marshall built the JTM 30 and JTM 60 amps. JTM 30 was a 212, 5881 power tubes, and JTM 60 was a 115 with EL34 power tubes. These, at least my versions, have Eminence speakers made for Marshall, and they sound great. Then 97 to 99, these were replaced by the JCM 600 series, which is very similar. We're going to check out the 2x12 combo there. Let's go. It's of course hard to draw a line to say what are vintage amps and what are new amps, but for this video I draw the line at the millennium. Marshall kept on building amazing amps and amazing combos, so we're going to do another video for those combos soon here as well. And there were a couple of combos here that we haven't played yet. For instance, the Club and Country, not Country Gentleman as I called it, and the Studio 15 and the lead and bass combo 2100, and a couple of more. We don't know the early 20-watt combos either. Then you have amps like the Mercury or Capri or the Specialist and the 5150. So I'm going to get back with the kind of an unusual vintage Marshall tube combo comparison as well to complement this video. All right, let's discuss it in the comment section now. Cheers.